Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are bringing you the second of the two-game series between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. And we'll get straight into it as this game's going to tip off or kick off here in about 3 minutes' time. So we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors for the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off tonight, playing third base, wearing number 6 is Yumamune. Batting second and playing second base is number 10, Koji Oshiro. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. And the cleanup spot playing first base is number 1, Ryo Oda. Batting fifth at shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting sixth in right field is number 38, Ryoto Kita. Batting seventh in left field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. In the eighth spot in center field is number 8, Yusuke Mugatani. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And they're going to be facing Haru Matsumoto, who takes to the hill for the Hawks. He's got a record of 8-2. He's worked 88 and a third innings. He's allowed 76 hits, 32 runs, 31 have been earned. He has walked 31 and struck out 98 while pitching to a 3.16 earned run average. And now your starting lineup for the home team, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Leading off tonight and in right field is number 31, Tomoya Masaki. Batting second in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Hitting third in left field is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. Cleanup spot and playing third base is number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. Batting fifth and doing designated hitting is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Hitting sixth and doing the catching is number 39, Yudai Yamamoto. Batting seventh and at second base is number 6, Kenta Emamiya. In the eighth spot and playing first base is number 33. That is going to be Ryota Hirose. And batting ninth and at shortstop is number 25, Yudai Shoji. They're going to be facing Ryuhei Sotani, who takes to the hill with a 4-5 record. Sotani's worked 58 in the third innings. He's allowed 56 hits, 29 runs. 26 of those have been earned while walking 9 and striking out 57, pitching to a 4.01 ERA. What do we expect tonight? I'd expect there's going to be some runs scored. I expect that the Hawks are going to come out flexing their muscles again as they did last night. But they got to play the game, and that's why we're here, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be calling this game here in just a couple of moments as Haru Matsumoto has just completed his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get the action going here in just a couple of moments. The ball games tonight, this is the early one that starts in a half hour's time in the Central League. The Dragons and the Swallows will get things going. Giants and the Carp get going in an hour's time, and then all the other games are later starts this evening. So Matsumoto ready to face Yumamune, who leads it off here for the Buffaloes to begin inning number 1. Lefty versus the lefty. Mooney stepping in, batting .235. He's got 11 homers and 51 runs driven in. As the lefty Matsumoto kicks and delivers a first pitch fastball that just misses low for a ball. And we are underway at 13:01 local time or 1:01 p.m. if you are in Japan. 1-0 pitch on the way. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now runs even to 1-1 on Mude. Hawks stuck it to the Buffaloes last night with a 7-1 victory. 8 strong innings delivered by Atsu as the pitch misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Mude. I'll say this. I think that the Buffaloes have to get off to a better start tonight. Didn't get anybody on base for the first 12 batters of the game as that fastball just misses outside. The count now goes to 3-1 on Mune. So 3 balls and a strike. Again, the left-hander working himself into the set position, the 3-1 on the way. Kicks and fires, fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, and it's going to get through past the glove of tonight's second baseman, Kenta Emamiya, into left field. And Mune aboard with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the second baseman in Koji Oshiro. Well, for Oshiro, he's getting the start tonight at second base, batting .261 on the year, no homers and 4 RBIs. Not a lot of changes in either of these two lineups tonight. A lot of the familiar faces that we saw in last night's game, only a couple of tweaks here and there. So Oshiro stepping to the dish. Batting from the right side here against the left-hander Matsumoto. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. Hawks tonight wearing their all-home whites as they did last night. And the Buffaloes, well, they've got their black tops and the gray pants on this evening. I like both of these uniforms. Very classy. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Instead, Matsumoto flips it over to first, and diving back in time is Mune. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, Kondo in left, Shudo in center, Masaki's in right. Around the horn from first to third, Hirose is at first. Emamiya is at second. The shortstop is Shoji, and the third baseman is Kurihara. And there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the first base line. And the count is now a ball and a strike here to Oshiro. Battery, of course, is Matsumoto and Yamamoto for the Hawks in this one. As the lefty ready to go again. And instead he throws over to first base, and then diving back in time is Mune. Left-hander getting the signs from his catcher. We'll redo this all over again. As he works himself into the set position, here comes the 1-1. Instead, again, they throw over to first. Oh, they're really worried about Mune. For a guy who's got 4 stolen bases, they have their concerns. Mune is not exactly the fastest. He does move okay. He can run a little bit, but not necessarily the biggest of threats. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt as he has established his lead over at first. Here comes the 1-1. Again, Matsumoto throws it over, and again diving back is Mune. He must pick up something here or know something is going on. I wonder if there'd be a time for a hit and run in this situation. Make sure that the pitcher goes to the plate and maybe get a little bit of a delay off of the base. Sure is waggling the bat. The lefty again comes set. Here comes the 1-1 on its way. There's a slow breaking ball that gets off the glove of Yamamoto, goes all the way to the wall. Mune rounds second, and he's going to slam on the brakes. It's going to be a wild pitch. No way possible that Yamamoto is going to be able to haul that in. That was well over the left-handed batter's box. He had to come up out of the seat. It was a breaking ball that probably was about 6 feet high and into the left-handed box. So the wild pitch, Mune is now in scoring position, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Oshiro. So now Matsumoto's got to deal with the runner at second. There's a fastball that comes inside for a called strike. The count's 2-2 now to Oshiro. The Hawks can sure beat you in different ways. Last night, the power was on full display. They could also play some pretty solid defense. They could pitch it really well. Probably if you had to say an Achilles heel of the team is their overall team speed. They do have some players that can run a bit. There's a breaking ball that's down. Certainly, Yukio Shudo is one of those players who can run, and the other one is the shortstop Shoji. He can sure get around the bases. But as far as everybody else in their lineup, stolen bases are at a bit of a premium. Tonight there are 6 players in the Hawks lineup who do not have a stolen base. And the 3 that do are Shudo, Shoji. As there's a breaking ball that's down, and they say that Oshiro didn't go. He's going to get himself a base on balls here. That's going to be ball 4. He's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring up Ryoma Nishikawa. The only other player with a stolen base in the Hawks lineup is Kensuke Kondo. He's got 5. Everybody else is sitting on the big fat goose egg. So this brings Nishikawa to the plate. He's hitting .290. He's got 9 homers and 43 runs batted in. Left-hander against the left-hander. As we pointed out the other night, in the Japanese league, they sure don't shy away from the matchups. Like in Major League Baseball, they're trying to play the matchup game with certain teams and hitters. Breaking ball, chop foul over on the first base side. Count 0-1 to Nishikawa. Kind of drives me crazy a little bit. How's a lefty going to be able to hit lefties if they can't see lefties enough? It's always kind of the reason in Major League Baseball. He's a left-handed hitter. He doesn't hit lefties well. Well, you can't hit them well from the bench. When you get that opportunity, there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Another solid crowd at the PayPay Dome tonight. The Buffaloes have their fans in attendance, but as we pointed out the other night, they are not exactly the biggest traveling ensemble that you would see in the NPB. There's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow left field. Moving over underneath it is Shoji. He's going to call everybody off. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Nishikawa. I don't know if they would have called an infield fly rule in that scenario. Nishikawa's gone for the first out. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Ryo Oda. That's a little disappointing because Nishikawa had the veteran hitter who has had a steady bat this season. You'd have thought he would have had a more productive at bat than that, than a pop up to the left side of the infield. So this brings to the plate Oda. Oda batting from the right side, hitting .286 with 8 homers and 44 RBIs. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball missing down, and the count is 1-0 to Oda. So 1 ball, no strikes. Tonight, we'll give you this one here, and then we're going to be dark for a couple of weeks. We're going to be over in Asia, although I have to say, kind of looking forward to catching some of the games on TV at a reasonable time. As there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Oda. In Taiwan, the 6 o'clock games will be at 5 o'clock because it is an hour time difference to Japan and Taiwan. So we're looking forward to that. As the lefty works himself to the set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on his chop foul over on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-2 on Oda. And then when we come back, it'll be into the September time of the year, and we're looking forward to calling as many games as we possibly can through the month of September leading into the playoffs. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Oda waggles the bat, and now they're ready to go. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in. The count now goes to 2-2 on Oda. I have to tell you, that pitch was pretty close, but I think it was a good call by the home plate umpire. It looked like it was a little low and possibly even a little bit on the inside part. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it is a fastball that misses outside. Count goes to 3-2. When people come into the stream a little later tonight, we're going to point them back to the 15-minute mark, as we like to do all the time. We're going to announce where the games can be found, and then it's your job to have to go and search it out. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting Oda. Again, the lefty Matsumoto works to the set. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third. They're going to go to second for 1, back to first, and that is going to be an inning-ending double play. It's going to go in the books as a 5-4-3 variety. We'll come back and give you all that streaming information in just a few, but on at second for the second out is Oshiro. On the trail side is Oda. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Hawks coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom of the first inning, and we started to give you the information of where you can find the game online or on TV. Lots of places tonight to watch the game on TV. RKB Medici Broadcasting is carrying it. MRT Miyazaki Broadcasting also carrying the game, as is OBS Ueda Broadcasting. RBC Television, MBC Southern Japan Broadcasting, RKK Kumamoto Broadcasting 1, Tokyo MX2, NKHKBS, and Sports Live Plus if you're looking for the TV portions. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. And with one pitch, there is going to be one away as Tomoya Masaki grounds out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the center fielder Yukio Shudo. If you're looking for online distribution, DAZN, Rakuten TV, and Baseball Live all carrying the games, that is where you can find it. Our friend Samurai Prayer in the house tonight. Welcome to the stream. This series here between the two clubs is locked up at 8. Both teams have won 8 and lost 8 in the 16 games having been played this season. As Yukio Shudo steps in, hitting .279, a couple of homers and 29 RBIs. Satani delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Battle of the left-handers here tonight, as both Matsumoto and Satoni are the southpaws in action. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball missing down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Shudo waggles the bat. Got the body armor all on the tricep, elbow, hand, everything except the forearm. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul just past the first base coach's box, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shudo. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, from left to right field, Nakagawa is in left, Mugatani in center, and in right field, it is Kita. Around the horn from first to third, Oda's at first, Oshiro at second, Kirbyashi's at short, and Mune's at third. The battery of Satani and Wakatsuki. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Shudo. The high-flying Hawks and their power and the mixture of speed is fun to watch. We were talking a little earlier, just saying that they probably lack team speed. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Shudo did a 180 and just started walking right back to the dugout. He knew he was had. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Kensuke Kondo. Well, for the Hawks, this is where it all began last night. They had the first 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning, and then Kondo and Kurihara went back-to-back with solo shots off the starting pitcher of the Buffaloes last evening. And that is where we sit here. We got 2 away. Very familiar position as Satani kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count is 0-1 to Kondo. Kondo hitting .310 on the season, 25 homers and 90 RBIs. I think there's a good chance that there's going to be at least 2 or 3 players in the Pacific League that are going to reach the 100 RBI threshold, Kondo being one, his running mate Kurihara the other. I think Franmil Reyes has got to pick up the pace to get to the 100 RBIs. There's a fastball that just misses outside, count as 1-1. You look at the numbers or the stats, Reyes is at 68. He's going to have a heck of a month of September to get himself into that 100 category. Looking over in the Central League, I would think that Teraki Sato is going to have a best chance to get to 100. His teammate Shota Morishita is in a similar position to Reyes. And Bobby Dahlbeck of the Giants are going to have to be able to pour it on if they want to get to the 100 RBI total. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away. Count goes to 2-2 on Kondo. What I'm curious is who's going to lead the league in victories on the mound. Espinoza for the Buffaloes has 11. This is Takayuki Kato of the Fighters. Right on their heels, Atsu and Maeda have 10 each. Fastball swung on and missed, and that's going to do it. Kondo's in the books for the third out of the inning. 2 strikeouts here for Satani to start his first inning. Hawks go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are through. 1 complete. Score is the Buffaloes nothing and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. The top of the second inning is upon us in just a few. We appreciate you for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back to give you all the action in just a bit. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the second inning. It'll be Kotaro Kobayashi, Ryoto Kita, and Kai Nakagawa to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in their half of inning number 2. The lefty only threw 20 pitches in the first inning, did Matsumoto. As the pitch is a fastball swung on it is grounded into the 6th hole and into left field for a base hit. And Kobayashi is aboard here. As the first pitch he sees from Matsumoto, he delivers. Very much similar to how Mune had come to the plate, pounced on a pitch, similar area. So that is another leadoff single to get things going for the Buffaloes. That brings Kita to the plate. Kita hitting .276 on the year, 7 homers and 34 runs driven in. Kobayashi establishing his lead over at first base. And the first pitch to Kita, breaking ball down. It squirts away from Yamamoto. That's another wild pitch that's going to allow Kobayashi to go. That's 2 wild pitches in 2 innings. And again, the Buffaloes have a runner in scoring position. Breaking ball in the dirt, bounced. In fact, it bounced in front of home plate. Came up and hit Yamamoto in an awkward spot. He's the one who gets the camera on him, but they should be putting the camera on the pitcher more so because He's the guy spiking the ball and throwing it all the way to the backstop. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kita as he waits on the offering from Matsumoto. The pitch, breaking ball swung on, lifted into center field. Moving back is Shuto, back on the bag and tagging. Here comes the throw. It's going to get cut off, and it's not going to go all the way to third. A advancement by Kobayashi on the fly ball is going to be a out to the center fielder as Kita's gone for the first one of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. I think we'll know exactly what the Hawks think this game is going to look like if they pull the infield in. We're going to find out right about now. If they've got the infield pulled in, they're telling you or telling us that they think it's going to be a one-run ball game. If they're playing the infield back and trading the run for the out, I think they'll probably play it. They're confident that they're going to score a bunch of runs. See how the defense is aligned. Nakagawa stepping to the plate. He is hitting .245 on the year, 6 homers and 32 runs batted in. Pitch on the way. Slow breaking ball misses way outside, and the count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. They do have the infield in on the proverbial grass, I would say. There's no such thing at this park because everything is all green. So the best way I could describe it is there may be a step or so ahead of the bases, between the bases. So if you think of a baseline that runs from first to second directly, there may be a step or so in. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball misses, but up goes the hand of the home plate umpire and says Nakagawa went around. It's 1-1. So Buffalo's with a chance to open the scoring up here in top of the second inning, just as they did in the first. They got to take advantage of the opportunities that's presented to them. 1 ball and 1 strike as the lefty Matsumoto again comes to the set. Kicks and delivers. Fastball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. They are really working Nakagawa away. The lefty here, all 3 pitches that he's thrown to Nakagawa have been at the upper part of the strike zone, but away from the hitter. See if he comes in and moves him off the plate. Yamamoto's setting up inside. The 1-2 on the way. Pitch, fastball, just misses inside. It's going to run the count even to 2-2. Boy, not getting the love from the home plate umpire. We'll look at that replay again. Probably the way that Yamamoto received the ball. Did a good job of receiving it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty Matsumoto ready to go back at it again. He gets the sign from his catcher, and now he works to the set position. And the 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and tap foul. Over on the third base side, the way the dugouts are structured here, it's kind of an interesting field, or at least field design. It's not your traditional, like it's down the third baseline. It's almost like it's behind the on-deck circles. It's really sunk back deep. So 2-2 it remains on Nakagawa here as the lefty Matsumoto ready to go again, working himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Slow breaking ball swung on and missed, and Nakagawa's in the books for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it all up to the center fielder in Yusuke Megatani. Well, for Mugatani, batting 143 on the year. He's got a homer and 4 runs batted in. Came into last night's game as a defensive replacement. Ended up pinch hitting, I believe, for Wakatsuki, and then ended up replacing Watanabe defensively. First pitch breaking ball misses down, and the count's 1-0 to Mugatani. Crowd in good spirit for the Buffaloes, trying to help their team along here as they have threatened twice in the early going and are looking to cash in their first run. Mugatani waits, pitch on the way. Fastball just below the knees for a ball, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander as the Hawks' Matsumoto works set, now delivers. Fastball comes inside and almost hits Mugatani, makes him turn off the plate, and now the count goes to 3-0. Hawks pitcher has not been sharp here tonight so far. He's had to throw a number of pitches, 32 pitches so far, 20 in the first inning, and he's not out of this one yet. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. Last night's starter for the Buffaloes, we were commenting a little bit that he had really struggled. He had thrown 47 pitches. That was Takashima in the 2 innings. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes full to Mugatani. So 3-2 it is. So you know that Matsumoto is going to be around the zone here at some point. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty, lefty, ready to go. Work set. And now the payoff pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into deep right field. Moving back, looks like he's going to have room on the warning track, and making the catch is Masaki, and that is going to do it. They could have used that swing a couple of batters ago, but didn't get it. So Mugatani gone for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 run, no runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left aboard. That's 2 in scoring position that have been stranded in 2 innings. Hawks will be coming to bat, and the score is where we started. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout. Your score is 0-0 between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It's the heart of the order to come to bat here to face the lefty Ryuhei Sotani. That means Kurihara, Yanagita, and Yamamoto to get things going here in inning number 2. And the first pitch coming from Sotani on the way. It is a fastball swung on, and we got 2 for the price of 1. Foul ball off of the mask of the catcher, Wakatsuki, and it deflects right into the mask of the home plate umpire. That's going to leave both of those guys a little shook up. Wakatsuki's going to need just a moment here. Looks like everybody's all good and ready to go again. Sotani wastes no time. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Kurihara. Kurihara's batting average has slipped, but his home runs and RBIs have definitely not. Having himself a fine season as that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. 34 homers and 91 runs driven in. Between him and Kondo, 181 driven in between the two of them. There's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by Oda. It's going to easily win the race to the bag. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for out number 1. It's going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he strides to the plate, hitting .297 with 13 homers and 51 runs batted in. We've been barking about it all week, saying he's been drinking from the fountain of youth. Last couple of years, found himself riddled with some injuries, missing significant time for the Hawks. This year here, he has been very productive, playing like a young Yanagita 10 years ago. There was a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Yanagita has been showing the power as well. He homered in last night's ball game, getting the start as a DH. We've seen him once in a while in the field, not so as much as we used to. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count's 1-1. Used to look into the lineup, and every time you would see Yanagita in right field. This year here, he's played a little bit of right, but mostly some left. The designated hitter has had his name in that spot. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field as it split the defenders on the right side. Yanagita aboard with a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Yudai Yamamoto. Well, for Yamamoto, he is batting .330 since coming over to the Pacific League. Those are his numbers with the Fukuoka Ball Club. He's got a couple homers and 22 RBIs. But as we pointed out in the beginning of the stream, we also were saying that you got to realize that Yanagita and this ball club here, outside of 3 players, they don't run particularly very well anymore. Yanagita used to run well. He establishes a big league at first. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt, but Satani will step off the rubber and go to the rosin bag, and we'll redo the setup all over again. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Tom in the house pitches a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. He says, what do you think about the Dragons game being under 7.5? Dragons and the Swallows under 7.5. That's who they're playing tonight, with Yanagi going up against Matsumoto. Not sure about that one. That's generally a safe bet, taking the under. As that fastball swung on, popped up over on the right side of the infield. Underneath it is Oda. He's going to be there to make the catch. Yamamoto is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the second baseman in Kenta Emamiya. If I was looking at the games tonight, people come in and ask me, who do I think is going to win, or what do I think is all about? I'm not sure I would be touching that game tonight. I think I like Yanagi. In fact, I'd probably lean Dragons in that one over Matsumoto. But scoreline-wise, over-under on that one, I really don't have a good feel. I think that neither of those teams can maybe, if you're going to have something go over, that could be that game. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. I know that's not a great answer, but that's how I feel. Giants send Takahashi to the mound against Ishida for the Bay Stars. Game goes off later tonight. Mori goes for the Carp against Ogasawara for the Giants. That could be an interesting game at the Tokyo Dome. No ball, 1 strike here to Emamiya as the lefty Sotani gets his signs. Works himself into the set position, and here comes the offering. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Over in the Pacific League tonight, a sexy pitching matchup between Andre Jackson of the Chibalote Marines and Kohei Arihara of the Fighters. Arihara has been pitching very, very well for the Fighters over the last 3 weekends when we've seen him play. And then it is the Eagles and the Lions. Sawa for the Lions. It's Suki, I think it is, for the Eagles. Not really sure what to tell you in that one, as they throw over to first base, and getting back easily is the base runner Yanagita. Wonder if there's a time to run. This might be a time to run for Yanagita right now. Get him in motion here. As the 0-2 ready to be delivered. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball down. Now, that's a good snap by Wakatsuki. Another thing that always throws a wrench into things sometimes is when you have a rain out the day before, and then all of a sudden they got to come and they got to play the game. Yesterday, the game between the Tigers and Yokohama was rained out. Game between the Marines and the Fighters, same. No rain in the forecast for today, just cloud. They do say that there is a typhoon forming. It had come through Guam and was going to head toward Okinawa, and I'm not sure when that's going to strike. Fastball misses up, and the count goes to 2-2. But when you have a typhoon that's going to strike, my question will be is then what do you have? You have a typhoon that hits. You get a couple of days of rain. Teams don't play. How does that affect the teams that are playing? Teams that are winning and playing well want to keep playing. There was a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2 to MME. Teams that are struggling, trying to do the rain dance. Try to get yourself reset, get yourself healthy. It's kind of the way of the world, isn't it? When things are going well, you want to keep the music playing. When things aren't going very well, you want to do everything you can to stall, to regroup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Satani again holds set. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count will remain at 2-2 to Imabia. The battle here is going to continue. Those of you who've just wandered into the stream, we thank you guys for popping in tonight. Had some busy streams over the last couple of weekends. Hawks and Buffaloes, obviously the early game here. That game between the Swallows and the Dragons has just got underway. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Emamia watched that one go by. No dispute there. He walks back to the dugout. Gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Hawks. No runs in the inning. They did have a hit, no errors. One runner left aboard. We're through 2 complete, and we are where we started. It's the Buffaloes nothing and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. The top of the third is upon us, and we appreciate you guys. We'll see you back in just a couple of moments right after this musical timeout. Stay with us, everybody. More baseball when we return. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the third inning. It is 0-0, and we'll bring you all the action right after this musical timeout. Back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It's the 9-1 and 2 hitters to face the lefty Haru Matsumoto, and he gets the catcher Kenya Wakatsuki to take a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Wakatsuki hitting .205 on the year with a homer and 15 runs driven in. As the breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki, Mooney, and Oshiro to face the lefty here. As he kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over the head of the pitcher. Fielding it on the run is Shoji. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Wakatsuki on a ground out 6-3. So 1 up and 1 in the books, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Yuma Mune. Our friend Tink says, do you think this game's going to go over 6.5? Well, to be honest with you, it has all the markings that it could, because the pitchers right now, even though that it's 0-0, pitch counts are starting to ratchet up for Matsumoto. And I would think that there's going to be some opportunity to score some runs. 35 pitches in the 2 innings for the Fukuoka lefty. He needs a quick inning here to reel that back in. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike. Counts 1-1 to Mune. Mune 1 for 1 tonight. Singled his first time up. He was left stranded in scoring position. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 2 and no balls and 2 strikes. So Mune wanting to slow things down a little bit here. Matsumoto working a little bit quickly. Doesn't have any eye contact with the batter. The batter looks out and apologizes to the pitcher as he wasn't quite ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2 to Mune. Matsumoto is going to get himself a new baseball. Will be ready to go back at it again. As the lefty looks in and gets the sign from his catcher. Here comes the 0-2 offering. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball, misses down. Good stop there by the catcher, Yamamoto. He's had to earn his money tonight. The balls have been all over the place. What, 2 wild pitches already charged to the lefty Matsumoto. Allowed runners to advance. Here's the 1-2. Slow breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Mune is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the second baseman in Koji Oshiro. Interesting, JL's got an advertisement when the hitter strikes out. They got the plane taking off. Get a good kick out of that one. So here comes the offering as the lefty delivers a fastball. It's swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Our friend the Slump Goon is back in the house. Welcome again. Don't know if he brought his boxing gloves with him tonight. The Demon Slayer is not here, then probably will be all good. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty versus the righty as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2 on Oshiro. Oshiro did walk his first time up. He did reach base, but he was left stranded in that inning as actually he was erased in the double play, but they had their opportunity to the Buffaloes. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count 1-2 to Oshiro remains. I almost forgot about this game tonight, that it started an hour earlier. I was doing some work. I was starting to make some dinner, and the next thing you know is I'm like, this game's going to go off at 1 o'clock Japan time. Better start getting ready. I thought, it was a 10 o'clock game, even though I had it set up properly. Fastball swung on and fouled away. 1-2 to Oshiro. Slump says he just wants to enjoy the game tonight. There you go. Nothing like sitting back and relaxing. Last night, Demon Slayer came in and he apologized. Sort of sorry, not sorry. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded neatly by Yamamiya. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Oshiro on a ground out 4-3, and that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of inning number 3. They go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Scores, we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is where we started. The Buffaloes nothing and the Hawks nothing. Ryan's in the house, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys in just a couple of moments. It is Buffaloes and Hawks. More to come after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Ryan says he put 300 on the Hawks on money line. How cooked am I? Well, it's been a pretty even matchup between these two teams. They've played 16 times this year, and it is 8-8. So, you know what? It's flip of the coin. It's tonight, the pitching matchup, two pretty strong lefties going head-to-head. There's a fastball swung on. It has popped up on the infield over on the left side. Playable for Yumamune. Underneath it, he makes the catch, and Hirose is gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Yuta Shoji. And so with the Hawks playing at home, I think that, that's probably, the odds are in their favor. They're tough to beat in Fukuoka. I just don't know if I had to give the pitching matchup tonight. Satani, his record does not indicate, I think, his abilities. Matsumoto has had a pretty good season with his run of an 8-2 record. Fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 1-1 to Shoji. But also, too, that Matsumoto's got some firepower behind him. He can hit their way out of trouble, count the Hawks. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count goes to 0-2. Shoji batting .247 on the year. No homers and 16 RBIs. But we were talking last night about his ability to run. He's got 16 stolen bases. Lefty again works to the set. Now he kicks and fires. Fastball misses down and away. The count goes to 1-2. That was actually a good spot to miss. And I think if I'm the lefty here, I'm coming back inside right now. Got him out leaning across the plate, looking to try to cover the outside. Let's bust one under the hands. See if the Buffaloes are thinking the same way. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses up and in. So we're not having the same conversation, it looks like. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty ready to go, getting a sign. Working fairly quickly here with nobody aboard. Pitch on the way. Slow breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly to second. They're going to have to hurry. Nice play there by the second baseman, Oshiro, to throw on the run. But as we mentioned, Shoji gets down the line pretty quickly. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. That's a ground out 4-3, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Tomoya Masaki. Well, for Masaki, he led off the ball game with the first pitch that he saw. He had a ground out to the shortstop. So officially 0-1. Lefty ready to go as he works himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-0 on Masaki. Masaki enjoying a nice season, hitting .279, 21 homers, and 48 runs batted in. It's a very open stance. Hands are really moving quick. Here comes the 1-0. Kicks and delivers. Tandy delivers a fastball that misses up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. And again, the lefty ready to go back to work. Masaki really working that bat. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses way outside. The count now goes to 3-0. Friend Samurai Prayer says Mune got the NPB free agent right this June. He's lobbying for him to join Hanshin. Well, they might need a third baseman. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1 if Sato is on the way out. Yeah, speculating if Mune decides he wants to leave the Buffaloes, where would he be able to land? Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball. That's taken for a called strike. Count runs now full. Now, where would he go? If he stays in the Pacific, the Fighters don't really need anybody. Lions don't need anybody. Eagles could use anybody. Could play in there. There's a breaking ball swung on his chop foul over to the third base dugout. It goes down the tunnel. Count remains full to Masaki. Mune could end up, maybe in Chiba. I don't know what the situation is over there so much. I'm not sure if they do. Going the other side of the ledger, maybe he ends up as a Swallow. Maybe he ends up. The Carp have been rolling guys in at third base that were imports over the last couple of years. Now ball foul over on the third base side, count full. Not sure exactly what they're doing right now. Is it Kono or Chono over at third? I guess it would have to be the right fit if there's going to be some domestic movement. And the money's got to be right as well. Certainly, there's money in the Pacific League, and Buffaloes, if they like them, can keep them. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Satani blows it right by Masaki. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that's going to do it here in the third. They go in order to the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are 1/3 of the game in the books, and your score here is the Buffaloes nothing and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to give you more action in just a few. We appreciate you for hanging around with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. I need to go up and refresh my beverage, and we'll come on back and give you inning number 4 after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Buffaloes in inning number 4. It'll be Nishikawa, Oda, and Kirbiashi. Our friend Samurai Prayer says the Buffaloes and Tigers have had good trade history for the years. Yeah, I think it was it Yuki Nishi ended up? It was the arm that the Buffaloes sent to the Tigers one year. There's a bunch of Nishis ended up in where the Hanshin Tigers were. There's a breaking ball that misses up and into Nishikawa. Nishikawa 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to short. 0 for 1. Slump Goon wants to know if the Buffaloes have won against the Hawks. Yeah, the season series is tied at 8 apiece. Breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count goes to 1-1 on Nishikawa. So both teams have won their fair share of battles this year. As we mentioned, 8-8. As this will be the one that's going to break it. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low, and the count goes to 2-1. Offensively, the Buffaloes have actually outscored the Hawks in these 16 games, or is it 5.17 runs a game versus 3.63? I guess that would be what they've allowed, is the Buffaloes have scored, or the Hawks have scored 5.17 runs, and the Hawks have allowed 3.63. As that ball's chopped foul over on the other side, the count's 2-2. But all of the offensive statistical categories belong to the Hawks in this series. Batting average, runs scored, hits, home runs, everything is all in their favor. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. And the lefty Matsumoto delivers. It's a breaking ball down. It goes all the way to the backstop. The count now runs full to Ryoma Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nishikawa taps back in. As the lefty ready to go, kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4 And that is going to be the second walk issued tonight by Matsumoto. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Ryo Oda. Well, the way this game has been going, you may want to start thinking about bringing the bunters out here and start dropping a little bit of small ball action. Start creating some offense. Your runs have been at a premium. Our Filipino friend in the house tonight, he says he's surprised that the Swallows are better than they were a couple of years ago. Yeah, with no Murakami in the lineup, that can make it really surprising. You know, the big thing is they often talk about a managerial change can do wonders for a team, and certainly the Swallows were the benefit of a managerial change from last year to this year. First pitch, fastball swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Oda. You get the managerial changes, and it's a good thing. They come in, they take over. You got a new manager, and that's the way it works. We breathe a little bit of life and fresh air into the team. Some players will typically benefit, some will get adiosed. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball down. Another thing you also notice too is when a manager is I don't say let go, but when you have a change in the manager, whether he retires or whether he moves on into management or whatever he does, or maybe he gets outright fired, sometimes managers might have a loyalty to certain players, and a loyalty by death by the sword. They hang on to them for too long. Management hangs on to them, and then a new manager comes in and they have a different perspective. Fastball swung on, lined into left field past the glove of Kurihara. Over to cut it off is Kondo. Stopping at second is going to be Nishikawa. It's a base hit here for Oda, and that's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. That'll bring up the shortstop in Kotaro Kobayashi. And our friend Gouda Battle League in the house. Yeah, nothing. Everything's going good, my friend. Glad you can make it back in here for another one tonight. Saturday Night Baseball on the channel. If you're in North America, it is a Sunday afternoon affair if you're in Asia. So the Buffaloes have got the potential for a stampede going here as they got runners at first and second, nobody out. Kobayashi here, 1-for-1 tonight. He squares to bunt and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. That drives me nuts when guys square to bunt and they end up taking strikes. Our Filipino friends, hopefully he says they do the same with Dan Wilson and the Mariners. There are times his choices have tanked the team. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the Mariners is because I'm not a Mariner fan, but being in the area, get a chance to see the Mariners a few times during the year. I think I saw them 3 or 4 times this year. Also get a chance to see the highlights, get to see them on TV. One of the things about Dan Wilson's group that I can say I'm not a huge fan of is some of their outfield play and the way that they play. Fastball down, nice stop there by the catcher Yamamoto. And where I'm going to head with this is usually when he took over mid-season a couple of years ago, it's hard to really be upset because a lot of the things that are in place were from the previous regime, Scott Service's group. But then when you have a full spring training to go and implement what you want to do, and you watch how the team plays, it's a reflection of you as the manager. And one of the things to that is the play of Randy Arozarena, really hard to watch sometimes. Breaking ball misses up, and the count now goes to 2-1. Our friend Gouda Battle League says it's 1 a.m. in his part of the country in North America. And Jeremy Orr in the house tonight, making an appearance. I was thinking about you yesterday, Jeremy, when they had that pitching matchup of Chris Sale and Jacob Mezorowski. That was must-see TV. Here's the 2-1 pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into right field. It's a bit shallow. Coming in on it is Masaki. He's there to make the catch. Nobody is going to tag. Backing up is the runner Nishikawa as he heads back to second base. So that is going to retire Kobayashi for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Ryota Kita. Slump Goon says it's midnight for him in Chicago. Going to ask the Slump Goon what his favorite pizza place is in Chicago. And I got my two favorites. I'll share them with you, but I want to hear what the Slump Goon has to say. Our Filipino friend says it's 1:02 in the Philippines. Yeah, so you guys are on Taiwan time, or Taiwan, same time zone. Hour behind the Japanese. So here comes the pitch from the lefty Matsumoto. It's swung on. It's grounded over to second. They go to second for one. Back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play. It's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety. And that is going to do it here. I don't think they're going to challenge that one. It looked pretty clear to me that is going to do it. Oda, the second out at second base. The third out is Kita. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of inning number 4. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. Your scores moved to the bottom of the 4th. It is a 0-0 ball game. Our friend God is Great is in the house. Glad you could be here. And we'll be right back in just a couple moments. We'll talk pizza with the Slump Goon right after this timeout. Stay with us, everybody.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the 4th is upon us, and we were starting to talk pizza in the last inning, as our friend Slump Goon says. I think it's Pico's Pizza. That would be in Chicago, is his go-to place. It is going to be the lefty Yukio Shudo ready to face the lefty Satanian. The first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Shudo 0 for 1 tonight, struck out looking his first time up. Ryan says they've got Woody's Wood-Fired Pizza in Colorado. Breaking ball swung on, chopped over to the right side. They're going to have to hurry. Fielded by Oshiro. He throws to first, and Shudo's in the books on a ground out, 4-3. So one of the books that's going to bring up the left fielder in Kensuke Kondo. Martin Luther jumps in with a question, will this game go over the 4.5? The way it's going right now, it doesn't look like it. Both of these teams are not swinging the bats very well against these two lefties tonight. But this is the inning here, the last couple of nights, the 3rd and the 4th innings, where the game saw some scoring. So I guess if they can get through these 2 innings here, I think we'll know the answer. First pitch fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. My 2 Chicago go-to pizza places are Gino's East. That's kind of a staple. That's one of the bigger ones. But the more quiet, quaint place, kind of like Eduardo's. Get a chance to go to Eduardo's. I think it has seating for about maybe 12 people, maybe 16. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Kondo. And I'm not a huge fan of deep dish pizza, but when I'm in Chicago, I like to eat that. Obviously, they're known for it. And those 2 places I found that I can easily go and indulge in. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded by the Third baseman Mune, he fires over to first, and that is going to retire Kondo. Nice play by Mooney. Ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman and Ryoya Kurihara. Ryan says, do you think he's going to lose his bet today? Well, you don't want to speak that into existence. Nice play there by Mooney. It was kind of a weird hop because I thought it was going to go over the head towards the shortstop area. That's where the pitcher had kind of come off the mound on the third base side. Great play by Mooney to field it and to gun him down. Fastball swung on, grounded through the four-hole into right field, and Kurihara's got himself a single with 2 outs here in the fourth inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. Jeremy says he used to live in Southern Illinois, and we had, if I say it correctly, Quutros in Carbondale. When I used to work in the auto industry some almost 30 years ago, I used to do a lot of work. There was a fella who was from Ann Arbor, and he always used to say he used to like the greasy pies. The greasier the pie, the better. In the Detroit area. Comes the first pitch to Yanagita. It's a breaking ball missing outside, and the count is 1-0. Yanagita has a single tonight. He's got his average just below 300. He's hitting 299 now. Another knock will put him over that mark, one would think. You know, I was thinking about the food at the games when you go to the games in Japan and in Taiwan, how the food is fresh. Fastball swung on, grounded on one hop right to the first baseman. Oda, I'll come back and talk about the fresh food at the ball games in just a few. Ground out to 3 to end the inning. That's going to do it here for the fourth. If you've taken the over in the first 5 innings, you might want to redo. As this one here doesn't look like you're going to have any runs scored tonight. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for inning number 5 in just a couple moments after this. We appreciate you for hanging in with us and talking some pizza. It's making me hungry. Back here in just a few after this musical timeout. He was in the stream earlier last night. It is Steve Rademacher and our friend. Be sure to check out his channel a little bit later on. He is moving up the ladder with his subs these days. He's got some weird, wild, and crazy things. Go check him out. This is Steve.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. The lefty Matsumoto back on the mound here for inning number 5 as he's going to face the bottom third of the batting order. And the first pitch coming here to Kai Nakagawa is a fastball that just misses outside for a ball. 63 pitches for the lefty through his 4 innings of work as he is ready to face the right-handed hitting Nakagawa again. And there's a fastball that just misses up and away, and the count's 2-0. Our friend Samurai Prayer says that the both starters have been pretty good so far, maybe a quick game. As the pitch is a slow breaking ball swung on, it is grounded off the pitcher's mound up the middle. Shoji moving to his left. He throws to first, and Nakagawa's in the books on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Yusuke Migatani. Our friend Ryan says deep dish is good if it's Detroit-style pizza. Well, having lived near Detroit for many moons, I've never been a huge fan of the Detroit-style pizza. Somebody's going to have to give me a good one to have to go and get in that area because there was nothing that I really enjoyed. If anything, I like the Coney Islands. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second. The bat is broken, kind of like last night. Bat went further than the ball as it is fielded neatly by the second baseman, Imamiya, who throws to first. It's a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Kenya Wakatsuki. Jeremy also wants to know how are the bullpens. Bullpens are, for both teams, pretty good. Although Roberto Osuna had a rough night in the middle of the week, serving up a grand slam. Tom said after the first inning, he tried to find a live. Wasn't able to do it. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that. There's some people that come in and they'll haunt a bunch of the houses because of all the freebies you could potentially get. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. It's now 0-2 to Wakatsuki. It's never been my piece. Not really a big gambler. Every once in a while, I like to put some stuff down, but not all the time. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. It's like somebody who's a bartender. If you like to drink, you don't want to own the bar. You can drink yourself out of business. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on in. Fouled away over on the third base side, just past the third base coach's box. It's 1-2 to Wakatsuki. So 1 ball on 2 strikes. And as our friend Samurai Prayer says, it has been moving along pretty quick. When you think about it the other day, last night, the first 5 innings, it took it almost 2 full hours to play. Tonight, the pace is moving along quite nicely. Could use a run or so here to maybe open it up a bit. And right now, if you took the under through the first 5, well, you're laughing. And I don't know what the over-under line was, but there's no runs here through 4+ innings. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Wakatsuki watched that go by. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the top of the 5th. We are halfway through this one here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Hawks and the Buffaloes all locked at zeros. We'll come back and give you more action in just a few. We appreciate you for hanging in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Come on back again. We'll give you some more. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Slated to come to bat, Yamamoto, Imamiya, and Hiroshi. Our friend Jeremy says, do we like Japanese wrestling? Don't really know much about it. To say I like it or don't like it is maybe immaterial. I've never really liked wrestling because I was never a grappling fan. So it wouldn't make a difference if it was Japanese or from Hong Kong or wherever. I wouldn't be able to care less as far as what that would look like. But that being said, I don't necessarily not upset about it. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Satani ready to go again as he kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. 49 pitches through 4 innings for Satani, a little bit more economical than his counterpart. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. You think about the Hawks, if you were to take and place a money line bet on them every game of the year, you're probably going to be winning 2/3 of your games. There's a fastball swung. It's belted into left field, but it's not deep enough. Just in front of the warning track, and making the catch is the left fielder Nakagawa. He's going to retire Yamamoto for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman in Kenta Imamiya. Nothing. It remains here. Imamiya and Hirose, so 2 hitters that only have 1 home run each this year. So here comes the offering from the lefty Satani. It's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Imamiya getting the start tonight. Struck out his first time up. I have a feeling that they have his days as the number 1 shortstop are behind him, whether it be Shoji or whoever else they had playing that short last year. Fastball misses up, and the count's 1-1 to Imamiya. Lost a step. Very solid shortstop for a number of years. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. Martin Luther says, how many outs in the inning? Just follow along and listen, Martin, but we'll update you as there is 1 out. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Often we'll tell you as there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count goes to 2-2, but we're glad you're in here, Martin. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Imamiya is the all-time Pacific League sacrifice bunt leader, as he is somebody who can drop the bunt. And I'm just surprised at this point we haven't, when they do get runners on, we're not nickeling and diming yet. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes full to Imamiya. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Tandy ready to go again. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and this is belted foul. Hook barreled into the netting down the left field line. Count remains at 3-2. I was about to say, probably for Imamiya and for Hirose, you could put a tee out there and set a ball on the tee and let them just swing off of that. And I'm not sure that their batting averages are going to go up a whole lot further than what they are without it. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Satani works himself into the set and pitches. Here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and Imamiya is gone. He's gone for out number 2. And by my crack counting here, that looks like it's the 5th strikeout here in 5 innings for Satani. So that is going to bring up Hirose to the plate. Well, for Hirose, he is officially 0 for 1. He popped to short his first time up. As he stands in here ready to face Satani for the second time. Breaking ball misses down. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Other games underway and no score in any of them at this point. Breaking ball, let's take it for a called strike, and the count's 1-1 to Hirose. Top of the third inning, Dragons, Swallows locked at zeros. Bottom of the first, it's the Giants and the Carp also stuck at zeros. And Hirose swings and misses at that pitch as he falls to one knee. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryota Hirose. Again, the lefty works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-2 offering. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. That was a pretty good-looking pitch. 2-2 now to Hirose. Just as a reminder, after this half inning, we're going to take ourselves the traditional 5-minute break. That's what they do in the Japanese league. They take their break. Some of the players like to get a drink. Some of the players like to get a smoke. The umpires are right in that same boat. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on as pop foul into the seats behind home plate. It remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you took the under in the first 5 innings of this game here, you're probably on the edge of your seat ready to pump a fist, because that is going to come through for you. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds to the set. And here comes the pitch. And that's a breaking ball that is in the dirt. He swings and misses. They apply the tag on him. He's already out. They're still going to throw to first anyway. It's a strikeout. Hirose's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the 5th inning for the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are going to put the music on loop. We're going to stretch our legs. We're going to refresh our beverage. Come on back and give it the back 4 innings. So if you took the under in this one, congratulations to you. You just picked yourself up a victory in this one here tonight. We'll be back in just a few after this with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving to the top of the sixth inning, and the Buffaloes will have the leadoff hitter, Yumamune, coming to the plate. It'll be Oshiro and Nishikawa to follow as we are ready to resume the action. Haru Matsumoto and Ryuhei Sutani locked at a pitcher's duel as it is 0-0 here through the first five. 1 for 2 tonight for Mune as the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Mune batting .237 on the year. Goes 11 homers and 51 RBIs as the lefty Matsumoto kicks and delivers fastball that just misses under the hands. The count goes even to 1-1. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Buffaloes. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Hawks. Friend Samurai Press said all the games are locked at zeros at all 4 stadiums where the games are being played right now. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just over past the bag at first base, and the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mune. So 1 ball, 2 strikes as the third baseman of the Buffaloes gets back in the box, taps both sides of the plate. And we're ready to get back at it here. Lefty holds to the set. Now delivers. Fastball just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Mune. As we mentioned, after tonight's game, we're going to be dark for a couple of weeks in terms of the live stuff, as we are going to be over in Asia basking in the clouds and the rain. That's what it's looking like. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Mune. But we'll make the most of it, and we'll do what we can, as it may just turn into a different kind of adventure, that is for sure. Make sure you bring your umbrellas, your ponchos, and all your rain gear, because it doesn't look like we're going to be doing a whole lot of baseball for the first week. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and lined down the left field line. It's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Yumamune. But it is what it is, and that's what we're going to have to do, is make the most of things. The lefty ready to go again, as Matsumoto gets his sign. 3-2 pitch coming again to Mune. As the lefty delivers, it is a fastball swung on and another one lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. It was 72 pitches for Matsumoto through 5. So he's got himself reared back in at least the first couple innings, or the first inning he threw 20 pitches. And then he settled back down significantly. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on in. Driven foul down the left field line again, and this battle is going to continue here with Mune, as it's going to be pitch number 9 coming. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The battle continues. As the lefty nods in agreement, here comes the 3-2 pitch. And he kicks and fires. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Mune can't believe it. I don't know if he looked like he was starting to make his way down to first base, but the right hand of the home plate umpire is going to bring him back. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the second baseman in Koji Oshiro. We'll get a look at the overhead replay, and yeah, unless the angle's different, did catch the outside corner of the plate. Good call by the home plate umpire as he rung up Mune for the first out. Breaking ball delivered to Oshiro, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. This game is starting to turn into like watching an elevator go up and down, because that's what both teams are doing, one after another. 0-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by Emamiya. He throws to first, and Oshiro's gone on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Ryoma Nishikawa. Something's going to have to break here, of course. I was starting to wonder if the neighbors were playing their music pretty loud. We're getting ourselves a song and a dance show here, as they're calling for thunderstorms. So if you hear some booms and crashes, We're getting what the Asians are getting in the likes of Guam and Kaohsiung or Taiwan and all those other places, as that breaking ball misses down to Nishikawa, 1 ball and no strikes. The rain is cometh. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Nishikawa. Lefty working again, gets himself to the belt. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And the pitch on the way as a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Shudo racing back, and he's going to make the catch over the shoulder as he runs into the wall, and that is going to do it as Nishikawa's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors as the Buffaloes go in order. My only concern would be is if this game ends up getting knocked out with a thunderstorm. Lots of lightning in the neighborhood now. So we got the Hawks are coming to bat for their 6th inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is a 0-0 game. We are where we started. We'll be back in just a few right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It'll be Tomoya Masaki, Yukio Shudo, and Kensuke Kondo to come to bat here to face the lefty Ryuhei Sotani, who will begin his 6th inning of work. Battle of 2 lefties here tonight, and they have been absolutely fantastic. 66 pitches in the 5 innings of work by Sotani as he delivers a first pitch breaking ball over. It's actually Soji who leads it off here. Soji, Masaki, and Shudo. Soji in the hole here at 0-1 with the breaking ball. There's a fastball that just misses low, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shoji 0 for 1 tonight, had grounded to second his first time up. Tom says it's going to be under a 2.5. The rate this game is going, we may not score a run at all. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. I'd be curious to know what the odds are of a game that would be 0-0 would be. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty again works to the set. And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Shoji. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty nodding in agreement with his partner, Wakatsuki. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball taken for a called 3rd strike. Oh, Shoji was moonwalking out of the batter's box, but no way, says the home plate umpire. That's going to be a strikeout here to start the 6th inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Tomoya Masaki. And for us doing a quick piece, that's the 7th strikeout now recorded by Sotani. He has been absolutely electric tonight. So 1 of the books, Masaki coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to short, and he has struck out in his 2 trips. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike it is. Banker Brandon in the house. He says, is it the Hawks or Buffaloes hitting at the moment? We are in the bottom half of the 6th, and the Hawks are at the plate. Neither team has done much with the bats tonight. 3 hits for the Buffaloes, 2 for the Hawks. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Count goes even to 1-1. The way this game is projecting or shaping up, I wouldn't bat an eye that we see a solo shot for a home run. And that could be the decisive piece here. Just get the way this game is feeling, or the feeling here. There's a breaking ball down. The home plate umpire goes up with the right hand as he feels that Masaki went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. I have to be, for selfish reasons, I'm pretty happy this game is moving along pretty quickly here. A lot of stuff to get done here in the next few hours. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. I don't know where Wakatsuki was going. He lost his balance. I don't know if he got his cleats caught or what the deal was. It was a breaking ball that was coming down and in. It was swung on. It was fouled away. It was hit off into the back foot of Masaki. Wakatsuki fell over like a bowling ball there, rolling down the gutter. Banker Brandon says, let's hope it's the Hawks when they get it done. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lots of fun doing these games. Had a ton of it this year. Hoping to try to get to some games until I won, but it's looking like there's going to be a bunch of washouts. Fastball swung on and fouled away. The weather they're going to get as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only the Taipei Dome has a dome. Everything else is outdoor stadiums. It could be a lot of games that won't get played next week. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Masaki as the right-handed hitting right fielder waits on the offering here from Satani. The 2-2 coming. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and this one's lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the seats foul. Count remains at 2-2. We were talking last night about the attendance in Fukuoka. They really get a solid attendance. They haven't announced the crowd yet tonight, but I tell you, it's probably a sellout or pretty darn close to it. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Lefty again delivers. Fastball swung on and shot foul over on the third base coach's box, and the count remains at 2-2. When Masaki came to bat in the first inning, he swung at the first pitch and grounded out. And he had a quality at bat as last time. He struck out, but he took the starter Satani to 8 pitches. And here we are again in this at bat, and this is going to be pitch number 8. So he has witnessed 17 pitches of the 80 pitches thrown tonight by Satani, almost a quarter. Breaking ball down, and that's going to run the count full to 3-2. It's one way to get the pitcher's pitch counts up. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Foul the pitches off, battle them, force them to throw some pitches over the plate. 3-2 ready to go. On its way. Breaking ball misses inside. It's going to be a 1-out walk issued to Masaki. And that is kind of what the Hawks need. Now it's going to bring Yukio Shuda to the plate. And I was speculating early on, we got to start seeing the short game come out here for these two clubs. Got to start seeing some bunts. I know there's 1 out, but you might as well take the opportunity. And Shudo definitely can run, so he's going to be a guy who can put the ball on the deck and get things going. Create a little bit of havoc. So Shudo coming to the plate 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded out and he has struck out. Our friend Banker Brandon says, let's see if they can get some small ball going here. Thanks for your support, Brandon, as always. As the lefty ready to deliver. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Shudo showed no signs of bunting there. The party has started now. As Harrison has rolled in tonight. Thank you for popping in, Harrison. We did the roll call earlier and you missed it, but better late than never. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul behind home plate. Looked like it was almost a self-defense swing out of Shudo. Couldn't tell if it was a split-finger pitch that hung up in the zone or if it was a two-seamer. It didn't do anything. Either way, it wasn't exactly the pitch I think that Satani wanted. So no balls and 2 strikes. And again, the lefty delivers. There's a fastball swung on, grounded right up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, Kobayashi. He steps on the base, and Shudo's going to be retired. I wonder how many times this year Yukio Shudo's grounded into a double play. Probably not very often. Masaki gone for the second out at second. Over at first, it is Shudo gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here in the 6th inning for the Hawks. An unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your score as we move now to the top of the 7th. We are where we started. 2/3 of the game in the books. It's the Buffaloes, nothing, and the Hawks, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. Appreciate our friend Harrison for hanging in and everybody else here with him as well. Break back after this musical timeout.
1, 2, 3, 4. Jaybird singing something about the way things used to be. Now I'm dancing on a wire like a cheap paper tiger.
Welcome back, everybody. It is nothing as we move to the top of the 7th inning. And we're going to be back with all the action in just a couple of moments right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat. It'll be Ota, followed by Kobayashi and Kita. That means the heart of the batting order for the Buffaloes. First pitch, Ota swings at and misses. Count 0-1. He also loses his helmet. Harrison said he missed last night's game, but was in Binghamton with the Rumble Ponies broadcast team. Just wondered if you were making some calls. Be kind of neat to hear Harrison make the call where he is at. So no balls and 1 strike it is as the lefty ready to go again. Matsumoto delivers. It is a breaking ball, misses up, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. 86 pitches through the 6 innings for Matsumoto. Both pitchers here, who's going to blink first? I have a feeling it may get passed over to the bullpens. As there's a fastball swung on, this ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball is going to get trouble. It's going to get down. It's off the wall. Over to get it is Masaki. He fires it in. And cruising into second base with a leadoff double here is Ota. That's his 2nd hit of the night. So he is aboard And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Kataro Kirbiashi. Harrison says he's late. This game here started early, and it has been moving quickly. So that is going to bring Kirbiashi to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. We were talking a couple minutes ago about maybe the time for a sac bunt. Maybe the sac bunt is on it here. Keep our eyes peeled. Yeah, he's already squaring. So I'll tell you where they think it's at. He gets it down, fielded by the pitcher. They throw to first. Matsumoto does a good job getting to the ball, but Oda is going to advance to third. That's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books as 1-4 on the putout. Good bunt there by Kirbiashi, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Ryoto Kita. This game is game 2 of the series. There's only 2 games in this set, so the Hawks have already guaranteed themselves at least a split. Buffaloes are looking to get one back here in this one. So this brings Kita to the plate. Kita 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded into a double play, and he's flown to center field. Yamamoto had come out to have a few words with Matsumoto. Now the second base umpire goes and breaks it up. That was one thing I couldn't get used to. Is interesting to see the second base umpire is the one who comes out and breaks up the conferences. Never could quite get used to that. I always got something to say to the home plate umpire. Not always, but sometimes it's the one I want to talk to, not the second base umpire. So here comes the first offering from Matsumoto. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Ball 1 to Kita. Kita at the plate here, I'd almost think about putting another bunt down. Maybe a safety squeeze of some variety. As the lefty works himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded into right center field for a base hit. That's going to get a run in, and they've opened the scoring. Have the Buffaloes on an RBI single off the bat of Kita. End to score is Oda with the first run of the ball game. And the Buffaloes are flexing their muscle here, finally, in inning number 7 with a 1-0 lead. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. And that, in a way, is how you manufacture a run. You get a double, a sacrifice bunt, and a seeing eye single. You got a 1-0 lead here now for the Buffaloes with Kai Nakagawa coming to the plate. And for Nakagawa, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to short and struck out in his 2 trips to the dish. We just need our friend Samurai Prayer to report if there was any other scoring in those other games, because for the longest time, it was zeros across all the boards, although it is the Dragons with a lead of 2-0. There's only 3 games going on right now. The other one is the Carp and the Giants at zeros in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Nakagawa digs himself into the batter's box, ready for the first offering from Matsumoto, and instead Matsumoto throws over to first, and diving back easily is Kita. Samurai Prayer says, finally they got a run here, break the ice. Somebody has to pop the cork. The Buffaloes were able to do it. Here's the pitch. The fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is Masaki. He's going to have room. He's there to make the catch. He puts it away for the second out of the inning. Retreating back to first is Kita. That's going to be 2 out in the inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder in Yusuke Migatani. Well, for Migatani, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to right, and he has grounded to second. Does look like there's action in the Hawk bullpen. Hard to see because the bullpens here are underneath the stadium. The guys coming from inside the dugout. You speculate, maybe catch the odd TV camera. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count 1-0 to Magatani. Magatani having a bit of a rough season this year at the plate. 6 for 44, hitting a $136. Getting a little bit of opportunity lately. Have to sort himself out. He looks like he's a hitter at the plate until he actually has to swing the bat. And Matsumoto throws over to first base, and he has picked off Kita. That's going to go in the books 1-3 on the pickoff, and that is going to do it here. Kita, the hero, one moment driving in the first run of the game, and the GOAT the next as he gets picked off the base. 1 run in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is a 1-0 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll give you our version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Japanese style. We'll return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 7. It'll be Kensuke Kondo, Ryoya Kurihara, and Yuki Yanagita to face the left-hander Satani here in inning number 7. As the Buffaloes pitcher has stymied the Hawks through 6. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Fukuoka through the 6 innings. There's a fastball swung on it. Has popped up into shallow left field. Moving back on it is Kirby-Ashi, the shortstop. He's calling people off. And that is going to retire Kondo for the first out of the inning. 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. Yeah, it's moving up and down. Slump Goon. Got a few people in the stream tonight. That is a good thing. Glad everybody could make it in here for this one tonight. Well, that is going to bring to the plate Ryoya Kurihara. Kurihara tonight, 1 for 2, single and 2 trips. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Banker Brandon said the Hawks don't win. He's disappointed. Should have came in last night. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Yeah, it's sometimes you got to be. Can't win a ball. I think, when you start following who the pitchers are and everything else, everything's shaping up for Matsumoto. He's got a home game. He's 8-2. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike. Satani has been a 500 pitcher this year, a sub-500 pitcher. As it's 2 balls and 1 strike, pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. And Slumpgoon says, yeah, they still are. Still quite a bit of time left here for the Hawks. Hawks are a good ball club. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. One swing of the bat, and we're all tied up. So you can't write the Hawks off. Hawks have that offensive firepower. They can turn the ball game on the flick of a switch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line, and 3-2 it remains. Wondering when the rain is going to come. We have a light show going on of thunder and lightning where I'm at, but the rain has been holding off. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And it's a breaking ball that comes inside, and it's going to be ball four. I thought it might have hit Kurihara, but he's going to get himself a one-out walk. He's on base for the second time tonight, and it's going to bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate. It's going to bring Yumamune over to have a word with his pitcher. Satani has been great tonight. And the Buffaloes are on their phone to the bullpen, so that ought to tell you right there how they feel about this one. Don't want to let it get out of hand anytime soon. He has been working pretty good here tonight. He's been very effective over the last few innings as the lefty Satani, but he's going to be delivering his 93rd pitch now. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita 1 for 2 tonight, single in his 2 trips. Yanagita drinking from the fountain of youth this year. We've been slurping his play up over the last few games. And good on him. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Yanagita. Saying that he's been drinking from the fountain of youth. And good on him for doing that. He has played very, very, very well. Defensively, lost a step. Offensively, has picked it up over the last couple of seasons. The clutch performer. Here's the 0-2. And the pitch on the way. Fastball misses way outside. The count goes to 1-2 on Yanagita. Again, Satani ready to go back to work. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to the veteran DH of the Hawks. Satani checks the runner over at first. Now the pitch is on the way. Breaking ball swung on is going to be lined right to the glove of the second baseman, Oshiro. That is going to retire Yanagita for the second out of the inning. He hit that ball right on the screws. But right to the second baseman, Oshiro, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Yunai Yamamoto. There was what they needed, about 3 feet to the left or to the right, would have set up a big-time situation, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Absolutely hammered the pitch, but right to the glove. And Oshiro hardly had to even move. First pitch to Yamamoto, breaking ball, take it for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Yamamoto 0 for 2 tonight. He has popped to first and flown to left. Batting from the right side here against the lefty Satani, who's about to deliver his 98th pitch of the ball game. 0-1 on the way. Fastball swung through and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Yamamoto. So no balls and 2 strikes. Satani nodding in agreement with his catcher Wakatsuki. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and lined foul into the netting down the right field line. Bounces down into the temporary seating, and the count remains at 0-2. Other problem tonight for the Hawks, they've only, as we said, got 2 hits. They also really haven't had a whole lot of base on balls. There's only been, by my counts, 2 in this ball game issued to the Fukuoka Ball Club, so they haven't had an opportunity for base runners. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On its way, fastball misses way upstairs. The count goes to 1-2 on Yamamoto. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you just joined us, it was in the top of inning number 7 that the Buffaloes broke the ice. It was an RBI single off the Batakita that brought home Rio Oda. Let's open up the scoring here in this one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. And the count continues to be 1-2 to Yamamoto. Interesting is Satani blows on his hands in the dome. You haven't seen him wipe it off. I think if I was the manager of the other team, I'd want to see him blow on the hand or lick the fingers and then get rid of it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. On its way, fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2 on Yamamoto. Oh, it's turning into a beautiful light show. Lots of lightning here tonight, lots of thunder. As I said, I miss it because where I grew up, thunderstorm capital. I don't know if it's North America, but certainly Canada. Out here, it's a rare occurrence, but when you get it, it's a lot of fun. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball that's taken at the knees for a called third strike. Oh, Yamamoto, he goes down on strikes. I'm sure we're going to have an interesting conversation when he comes back with the home plate umpire in between the innings. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. We're getting into the deep water, and it is going to be coming to bat when we return. Mugatani, Wakatsuki in the top of the order, Mune, right after this.
We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in the whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here in inning number 8 for the Buffaloes. That means it's going to be Mugatani, Wakatsuki in the top of the order, Yuma Mune. As we were just waiting for this one, I was saying where I'm at, there is a thunderstorm brewing, and it is quite the light show. You got a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. They often say if you hear the lightning or see the lightning flash and then you count how many seconds till you hear the thunder or the crack, this one looks like it's rolling ever so closer. The thunder is rolling through the mountains. Lots of good sounds. So if you hear some cracking in the background, you know exactly what we are talking about. Well, we have ourselves a pitching change as the Hawks have gone to the bullpen. It's going to be Gota Suzuki coming on here. We've seen a lot of Gota the last couple of weeks, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mugatani. So go to Suzuki on in relief as he takes over for Matsumoto, making his 30th appearance of the season. And there's a fastball that misses in, and the count goes to 1-1 on Mugatani. Right-hander delivers, swung on, chopped over to second, fielded neatly on the run by Imamiya. He throws to first. It's a ground out, 4-3. Mugatani in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Kenya Wakatsuki. So Wakatsuki stepping to the dish. Officially 0 for 2 tonight. Are we going to have a pinch hitter for Wakatsuki? I would wonder maybe if they were losing, they would. Let's see if they're going to stay with the veteran. It is still Wakatsuki at the plate. So here comes the first pitch from Suzuki. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the first base side, racing over. It's playable, and making the catch is Hirose. Wakatsuki got to be gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it all up to the top of the order in Yuma Mune. So the Buffaloes have been made quick work of so far here in this half of the inning. And Mune coming to bat here. He is, check that. He's 1 for 3 tonight. A single and struck out twice. He has raised his average to 236 this year with the 11 homers and 51 RBIs. Batting from the left side is the third baseman Mooney, and he takes a breaking ball up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. There's a good old-fashioned thundercracker. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count 1-1. Be curious if any trees get taken out. Exactly where's the lightning bolts hitting? There's a fastball that misses down in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. I remember in some of the major cities in the Midwest where you go and you see they certainly have the lightning strikes. They have on the big buildings, they have the lightning rods where they strike, and it's kind of neat to see everything lit up. All the lightning towers or rods get hit. There's a breaking ball missing outside. It now goes to 3-1 here on Mune. Samurai Prayer says you could hear the sound. Yeah, you're going to hear some cracking in the background. It's pretty loud. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. It's now 3-2. And I got to be honest, as you hear it again, I like the sound of thunder, like the crack of the lightning. I don't want to necessarily be in it, but I can sit back and watch this all day long. There's a fastball swung on and fouled off on the third base side. That's 3-2. It remains to Mune. Yep, thunder it is. And, well, I don't know. We still have you guys on here, but our power just went out, and now it's back up again. So, yeah, I was expecting we might have something happen. So if you lose us, you know what happens. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over on the third base side. Moving over underneath it with room to make the catch. And that is going to be Kurihara, and that is going to make the play. And that is going to do it for Mune as he is popped out to third. He's gone out for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. As all our other stuff is going on. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned thunderstorm. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. It looks like we may have another pitching change. Looks like the Buffaloes' day is done for Satani. We'll bring that back for you in just a couple of moments. We'll keep you abreast on all the thunder and lightning that you can hear in the background here. We come back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters slated to come to bat for the Hawks. It'll be Imamiya, Hirose, and Shoji. Hopefully we can get through this one with you tonight. We don't lose our internet. We don't lose anything. But, boy, we got some good old-fashioned weather. We're going to get another one here. I almost want to open up the – I don't know if it's amplified if you've got everything closed up or if you open up. Boy, oh boy, you can hear some heavy-duty thunder crackers. Well, we have a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to their bullpen. It is going to be number 21, Sachiro Yamazaki, on in relief. The right-hander here is taken over. The big fella is making his 43rd appearance of the year. He's got a 2.53 ERA. So he has completed his tune-up tosses. We are ready to get back to the live action here in this one. And he is slated to face the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Imamiya, Hirose, and Shoji. We'll see how this all shapes up. Bonksman says the Hawks comeback is on. I don't know if it's this inning. As it is, they're going to have to set the table. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to get 2 out of the first 3 batters on against Yamazaki. Pitch on the way, fastball taken on the outside corner, called strike. That was at 96 miles an hour. The ball is a 1 strike to Imamiya. Imamiya 0 for 2 tonight, has struck out both times. As Yamazaki kicks and fires, there's a fastball missing up and away. Count goes to 1-1. The Thunder and the Lightning show continues. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the background noise. 1-1. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first baseline, and the count is 1-2 to Imamiya. And now the rain as it cometh. I was saying earlier we were getting a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, but no rain. Well, now it's making up for lost time. It is full on. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Again, Yamazaki coming into the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So just as the game is being played in the dome, we're in our own dome here. Nice and dry, but here comes some more crackers. Yamazaki works to the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it could be trouble. Over to the wall, and he's not going to be able to make the catch as the right fielder. It just sliced into the wall. In the corner there is Kita. Gave it his best, but not able to come up with it. Imamiya sent that one a long way. Just needed to straighten it out a little bit. That ball was not fouled by a whole lot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Imamiya gets himself back in batter's box again. The Hawks could use a base runner. As Yamazaki works himself into the set position. Brandon McCaffrey in the house. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. Brandon confident, probably with the pitcher Yamazaki on the mound. They had to get rid of Satani. A little surprised, actually, that they took Satani out already. I would have figured they might have let him work the 8th inning, especially with the bottom third of the batting order. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, lined into center field for a base hit. And Brandon McCaffrey is a prophet, as that is a base hit here for Imamiya. And that's going to be the end of the night of Imamiya, is they're going to have a pinch runner for him. So base hit into center field, and his reward is he gets substituted out of the game. Probably not a bad thing. Imamiya does not run like he used to. Floyd Staff says, base hit, boys. We welcome you into the stream as well. So Imamiya does his job. He gets it going. Let's see if Hirose is going to be asked to bunt. Just waiting on confirmation. It's going to be number 61, Yuto Kawamura, in the ballgame to run. So Kawamura here, and already squaring to bunt is Hirose. And they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Kawamura. We are in the deep water in this one here for sure. Samurai Prayer says not satanic, that's for sure. But he was definitely to the Hawks tonight. He was exercising demons against them. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. Hirose pulled back. They go to the first base umpire to see if he went. No, he didn't. So it's 1 ball and no strikes. Buffalo's enjoying a 1-0 lead, but this is where it's going to get exciting here. As Yamazaki has had a hard time here finding the strike zone. And when he has, they put the bat to the ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Hirose squaring to bunt. Yamazaki again throwing over to first base, and again diving back to the base is the runner Kawamura. Samurai Prayer says, yeah, the weather in our area might be a little satanic. Yeah, this has been a fun night. When the Buffaloes got their run, that was when all the thunder and lightning took over. And the rain is a cometh, although I have a feeling this is a prelude for what I'm about to witness in another week's time. Here comes the 1-0. Squaring to bunt, and again pulling back is Hirose, but he's going to take a fastball for a call and strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Hirose. This game has slowed right down. Yamazaki is coming to the ball game, and he has brought it to a halt. And now Wakatsuki out in front of the home plate area, and he's flashing signs to his defense. Whatever the bunt defense play would be, he has communicated that to everybody else. So here we go. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hirose already squaring to bunt. Yamazaki working to the set. Going to do it all over again. And the pitch. Fastball misses way outside. The count now at 2-1 to Hirose. Ricky, the shooter in the house, he comes in and says, what's the score? And Ricky, if you look at the ticker at the bottom of your screen, you'll know exactly what it is. 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to the batter Hirose. Again, Wakatsuki in front of the plate flashing his bunt defense signs. Everybody knows what they're doing, I'm sure, in full confidence. So Yamazaki ready to go again. Here comes the pitch. Again, Hirose squaring. The right-hander holds set. Pitch on the way. It is bunted and it's popped up. It's not a good one. Oh, he's going to be fortunate as it gets down and it bounces into foul territory. Oh, boy. Hirose is going to have himself another bit of life here as it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to the first baseman of the Hawks. Kenta Mbabia got the party started here in the 8th inning with a base hit. A pinch run for him as it's Kawamura. Runner at first, nobody gone with Hirose at the plate here. It's going to be a big-time turning point for the Hawks. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, showing signs of bunt here with 2 strikes. Got to get the job done. Here comes the pitch. Instead, they throw to first base, and again, diving back in time is Kawamura. Hawks and Buffaloes locked in a pitcher's duel. 1-0 it is for the Buffaloes. Hawks trying to answer back here in their half of the 8th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki again holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball. This time it's down. It's a good one. Yamazaki fields it. He throws to first, but moving over to second base is the pinch runner, Kawamura. It's going to go as a sacrifice, 1-4 on the putout. As Hirose is gone for the first out of the inning, that's going to bring up the shortstop in Yudai Shoji. And, if I was the manager of the Hawks, I think in this situation, you got to think maybe even Shoji to bunt. He's got the wheels, force him to make the play. Nickel and dime him right to death here. Then you got the top of the order at Masaki coming up. Let's see what the Hawks management has in mind. Well, I can tell you what they have in mind. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here. And not just any pinch hitter, it is going to be Akira Nakamura. Interestingly enough, Nakamura only hitting 129 on the season. He has announced that he is going to be retiring at the end of the year. He's going to have his retirement game. When I was left in the on-deck circle last night, I could have had an opportunity to pinch hit. Here's the first pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. That was at 97 on the gun. So Nakamura getting a chance to play the hero in front of the home crowd in Fukuoka. Nakamura's had a lengthy career, was a big part of the Fukuoka run for their Japan Series title. Or titles, I should say. Back in the 2010s, there's a fastball that misses up and away. Count now runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Big point in the ball game right here. There's a runner at second in scoring position. That's Kawamura. 1 gone here in the inning, and Nakamura at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch on the way. And there's a split figure pitch swung on and missed, and now he's in the hole at 1-2. I would have to think if they're going to get to the Buffaloes, it's going to have to be right now. If the Buffaloes, they're going to get to the Buffaloes, it's going to have to be right now. Hawks batters here. The opportunity to try to push a run across the plate. Establishing his lead over at second is Kawamura. Here comes the pitch to Akira Nakamura. It was there. Zaki kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. Lifted into right center field. Over to his left to make the catch is the center fielder Mugatani. Tagging at second and heading to third is the runner Kawamura. So now he's 90 feet away from tying the ball game. As Nakamura is going to be gone for the second out of the inning, it's going to bring up the top of the order in Tomoya Masaki. And for Masaki, well, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to short, he has struck out, and he has walked. So he has reached base. So Masaki coming to the dish here. Kira Nakamura not quite able to play the hero. So runner at third, 90 feet away. Well, not a bad place to be. There's all kinds of chances to be able to score from third. Balk, wild pitch, pass ball, all kinds of ways. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count as 1-0 to Masaki. So Yamazaki in a tough situation here, trying to keep the Hawks at bay. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Again, the right-hander working to the set. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses way outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Hawks fans are cheering loudly, trying to urge their team on. The atmosphere in Fukuoka for this one, what a great atmosphere to play in. If you were the home team here, the fans are just loving it. Playoff-like atmosphere type feeling. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs. It's now gone to 3-0 on Masaki. Waiting his turn on deck is Yukio Shudo. So 3 balls and no strikes to Masaki. I would have to think he's taken all day here. As the right-hander Yamazaki ready to deliver. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Now 3-1. 20 pitches already delivered by Yamazaki. He has thrown 11 strikes and 9 balls. Hate to say it, but that's not going to cut it. The 55% rule doesn't work. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is. Again, Masaki waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. He's got the hands moving like crazy. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. That's going to be ball 4, and the Hawks now have runners at the corners with 2 gone, and that's going to bring Yukio Shudo to the plate. That's going to be the end of the night for Masaki, as we're going to have a pinch runner, as it is going to be Taisi Makihara who has come in to run. So Makihara on to run for Masaki, and it's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. I have a few words with Yamazaki here. So for Yamazaki, he has got himself into a trouble. Runners at the corners, 2 gone here, bottom of the 8th inning. Yukio Shudo stepping to the dish. Shudo's had a tough night at the office tonight. He has struck out looking, he's grounded out, and he's grounded into a double play. What are the odds of Shudo grounding into double plays? That would be my guess being quite low. So here we go, back to the live action. Runners at the corners, 2 gone here. Yamazaki has got himself into a bit of a pickle. Shudo at the plate. Base hit here would score the runner. Extra base hit would have to be a stretch to get. Makihara out. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. 1 ball and no strikes. Yamazaki adjusts his cap. I could have sworn I saw a performance like this in the Japan series a couple of years ago against the Tigers when Yamazaki was on the mound. I'm sure our friend Samurai Prayer would be able to recall. It's looking eerily familiar. Here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Popped up into left field. Racing in with plenty of room underneath it to make a catch is Nakagawa. And that is going to do it. Shudo is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. So wasted opportunity here for the Hawks as they strand a pair of runners. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes with a 1-0 lead over the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. The 9th inning and the deepest of waters is about ready to happen, and we'll be back in just a few right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the right-hander Tetsudo Kobayashi coming into the ball game. He's making his fourth appearance of the year. He's got himself an ERA of 4.05. So he will take over here in this situation to try to keep the Buffaloes at bay, to give the Hawks another opportunity to take them out here in inning number 9. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters slated to come to bat. Oshiro, Nishikawa, and Oda. There have been some wholesale changes defensively. We'll have to catch up with those along the way as we possibly can. Brandon McCaffrey says it's not over yet. Yep, it's never over till it's over. As one Yogi Berra used to say. But it's sure getting close. I think the fat lady is starting to limber up her vocal cords. As the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down and in to Oshiro. Oshiro is officially 0 for 2 today. He has grounded out twice and walked. Back from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kobayashi. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and lifted foul over towards the camera section on the third base side. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Buffaloes enjoying a 1-0 lead here as they scratched out a run in the 7th inning. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul into the seats. Just past the temporary seating. It's ball and 2 strikes now to Oshiro. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Buffaloes. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Hawks. That is where we stand here in this one. Right-hander again working to the set position. Here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on. This is line foul down the left field line. Count remains 1-2 to Oshiro. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's going to be Kondo, Kurihara, and Yanagita to come to bat. Hawks have got everything lining up in their favor. There's a fastball that swung on. This is lifted into deep left field, and it's going to get over the head and all the way off the wall, and it gets away from Kondo. He's made a poor judgment on it. He's got to chase it down, and cruising into second base with an easy double is going to be Oshiro. Kensuke Kondo, first of all, the ball got over his head. I get that. Had to chase it down, and then as the ball ricocheted off the wall, it got by him the other way. So he was running in both directions. One to the wall, and as soon as the ball hit the wall and came back, he wasn't able to make the play on it. And it came back at a rocketed pace. You'd think that he would know his own wall better. We're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter or a pinch runner here. As they've gone to the bench of the Buffaloes, it is going to be number 0, Haruto Watanabe in. So Watanabe in to run as Nishikawa stands to the plate. The first pitch is taken outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. No sign of a bunt here from Nishikawa. Kind of hard-pressed to do it when he's hitting just almost at 290. One of your better hitters. Do you want to take the bat out of his hand, or do you want to let him swing it? Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses up, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Bonksman says it's not looking good for the Hawks right now. Well, we're going to see what happens. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. And it is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to absolutely deep right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be gone, and it is gone. A 2-run homer off the bat of Nishikawa. That's going to make the scoreline 3-0. Yeah, now it's looking bad for the Hawks. That ball was absolutely destroyed. Ishikawa hitting his 10th homer of the year. Everybody was hanging in here for the Hawks. Sorry, boys. I think you guys are going to have to come off the ledge. You've just dug the deepest of holes here. So that's now a 3-0 lead. That's going to bring up Ryo Oda to the plate. We don't usually make our marks until the end of the half inning, but I know people are going to be wandering in saying, what's the score? We'll update it for you there. Missed the first pitch to the next batter, though. Oda took a strike for 0-1. Oda's had a couple of hits tonight. A single and a double. He scored the only run his last time up until the 2 runs that had crossed the plate here. Swings at a fastball and lifts that one into the seats over on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I do say to the Hawks fans, or though at least those who have been putting the nickels on the Hawks, the season for the Hawks is something to be enjoyed anyways. It's been absolutely a great year for them. Fastball swung on and lined into the netting over by the temporary seating on the right field line. No balls, 2 strikes still to Oda. Surprising, though, how the Hawks or the Buffaloes have played the Hawks really tough this year. As we mentioned before, the Hawks and the Buffaloes tied at 8 wins apiece in the season series. This is about to be broken tonight. There's the 0-2. Breaking ball misses down. Count goes to 1-2 on Oda. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, and this ball is going to be lifted foul down the right field line. Battle's going to continue here with Oda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains as the right-hander Kobayashi ready to go again. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to short. Fielded neatly. They throw to first base. That is going to retire. Oda on a ground out 6-3. It's Kawase who has come in to play short. So 1 gone here. Brandon says he's going to need a miracle to win. Yeah, that's probably the facts. It is not on your side at the moment. Get yourself a victory. But again, that's why we play the game. Here comes Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. First pitch, breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, and it's just going to hook foul. Oh, boy. And it looks like it is batting practice in a live BP being thrown right now by Kobayashi. Kobayashi got the bat head out on the ball, extended it, foul by about maybe 3 feet. But it did hit the wall, so it wouldn't have been a home run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Looked like Kobayashi wanted to take another go at it. No balls and 2 strikes. Kobayashi waiting on the offering here from the right-hander. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball down. It goes to 1-2. Ryota Kita waiting his turn on deck. As Kobayashi finds himself in the hole here at 1-2. And the right-hander works to the set. Kobayashi ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. Split finger pitch swung on and missed. They're going to tag Kobayashi. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Ryota Kita. Well, Kita coming to the plate, 1 for 3 tonight. He drove in the run his last time up to get the ball game going. and then he was picked off first base. So from hero to GOAT in the span of seconds, he's hitting 277 on the year. 7 homers and 35 runs batted in. Takes a fastball down for a ball. Count is 1-0. Banker Brandon says he needs a miracle for a win. You're going to need some help. They're going to need some base runners, that's for sure. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to go 2-1 to Kita. So Larry Karma says he's about to make some money off of this game. Well, good for you. I always congratulate the people who are going to bring in a little bit of coin. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. 2-1 on the way. Oh! Fastball goes all the way to the backstop. It wasn't even close. We've seen a couple of those tonight early in the ball game. We'll watch that one again. 4-seamer. Went over the head of everybody. I don't even think it would have been straight to the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike it is to Kita. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded on the run by Makihara. He throws to first, and Kita's gone on a ground out 4-3. And that is going to do it here for out number 3 in inning number 9. But damage done as the Buffaloes get 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Ryoa Nishikawa. 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your scores move to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is the Buffaloes with a 3-0 lead over the Hawks. We're going to see one of the better comebacks in the NPB this season when we return, or it's going to be a quick game over. We'll have to wait and see. Right back, everybody.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Andres Machado making his 40th appearance of the year. He's got 25 saves to his belt, and he's got a 1.34 earned run average. But he is going to be facing the toughest of the bunch. It'll be Kondo, Kurihara, and Yanagita. So not the easiest of hitters to have to come in. If you're going to earn your money, this is where you got to earn it. So he takes over on in relief. And we are ready to go here as Kensuke Kondo steps in. First pitch. Split finger misses down, and the count is 1-0. Mr. Hermati says, any way to watch this game? Yep. Every night we let people know at the beginning of the stream, which would be at about the 17.5-minute mark tonight. You'll have to go back and pick up where that would be. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. We give you all kinds of information right there. You just got to go back and do it. In fact, we do it every night. We call the game early in the game, usually the first or the second inning. so that folks don't jump in and disrupt the continuity of the stream as we carry on. So 1 ball and 1 strike, but because you're new here, I'm sure go back to any of our previous games, and we usually do it in the first, as I said, couple innings. 2 balls and 1 strike it is to Kondo, as he is ahead here in the count. Now we welcome you into the stream, and we thank you for coming in. And that changes night to night, depending upon where it is. Fastball swung on, and it's fouled off the arm of the catcher. Oh boy, Wakatsuki had to wear that off the glove side arm. It's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. It sounds like, not only off the arm, but off the mask. Well, I don't know if this bodes well for everybody back in the 7th inning when the Buffaloes got their run. We were going through the midst of a thunderstorm, lots of thunder and lightning and all the rest of it. Well, the thunder is starting to come back again. Maybe that bodes well for the Hawks. 2 balls and 2 strikes, or maybe it bodes well for the Buffaloes. Who knows? Here's the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 3-2 on Kondo. Hawks need base runners. It's as plain as that. They need to get some base runners on so they can do some damage. Tink says, you think I should put 100 on the Hawks? Let's see what happens to this batter here, and we might have a conversation. 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and it remains at 3-2. Hawks need to get a couple of runners on, and then anything can happen. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side. I think he might have fouled it off his foot. It looks like it got the shin guard on Kondo. I don't think Kondo was really happy about that. I think that pitch was in. I think he swung at ball 4. So that's insult and injury right there on the swing. So Kondo, 3 balls and 2 strikes to him. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and it is lifted into deep left field. Just not deep enough. Moving over underneath it. It looks like that is Watanabe out there. And that is going to retire Kondo for the first out of the innings. So the noose is getting tighter and tighter around the Hawks' neck. So there's 1 gone here in the 9th. That'll bring up Ryoya Kurihara to the plate. And for Kurihara, well, officially 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. He's been on base twice. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Machado. As Machado kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung through and missed. That was at 97 on the gun. Just blew it right by Kurihara. I love that. Good old-fashioned hard ball. You know what's coming. I'm throwing you the heater. You try to hit it. No such luck. So here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 0-2. Sorry, check that. Breaking ball outside, count goes to 1-1. I thought he was going to get the call on that one, but not so much, says the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Kurihara. Pitch on the way. There's the fastball swung through and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Thank you, everybody, for your patience tonight and listening to the game with us. Yes, it has been an entertaining affair. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up. Good pitch there. Changing eye level of the hitter. Making the count now 2-2. Once this game is done, we'll give you the full roundup, and then we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard, as there is scoring going on in the other games around. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to get the runner aboard here as Kurihara has now given the Hawks some life. He's aboard with a one-out single, and that's going to bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate. So Kurihara is aboard. Yanagita stepping to the dish. He is 1 for 3 in this one. Yanagita's got a single, a ground out, and he has lined to second. But they need more than one base runner. They got to get themselves a pair here. I wouldn't bat an eye that Yanagita puts one into the seats. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now is 0-1. Yudai Yamamoto to follow. So no balls and 1 strike to Yanagita. As the righty works himself into the set, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Again, the right-hander leans in and gets the sign. As the pitch is on the way, it is a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Yanagita is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it all up to the catcher in Yudai Yamamoto. So LRI Karma is just working a little bit ahead of our call, as there is a bit of a delay. That's how you get zapped sometimes. Enjoy the game, but if you're going to be the spoiler, that's when we bring out the taser and start whacking people. So we got 2 in the books here. That's going to bring Yudai Yamamoto to the plate. He's had a rough night tonight, 0 for 3. Strikeout, pop out, and a fly out. First pitch, breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Yamamoto batting .321 on the season now. Since coming over to the Pacific League, as the righty Machado delivers, there's a fastball swung on in. Tap foul behind home plate. And now the Hawks, who are down to their final out, are now down to their final strike. Bit of a wasted pitching performance by Matsumoto tonight. But I've yet to see a team win a game who hasn't scored a run. And the Hawks are down 3-0 right here to the Buffaloes. So Machado ready to go again. Here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, who fires over to first. That is going to do it. I don't think it's Oshiro anymore, as he's been replaced defensively. That's your final. Ground out 4-3. Yamamoto in the books for the third out of the inning. And that'll do it here for the Hawks. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. Your final score is the Buffaloes 3 and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments to wrap this one up for you after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the final 3-0 for the Buffaloes over the Hawks. We're going to wrap this one up for you. And then we're going to take a peek around the scoreboard around the other games in the NPB. The scoring got going late here for the Buffaloes. It was in the 7th inning. It was a leadoff double by Rio Oda. After Katara Kirbayashi sacrificed him over to third, Ryoto Kita stepped up and hit a single and knocked home Oda with the first run of the ball game. Buffaloes led in the 7th 1-0. They added a pair in the 9th. It was a leadoff double off the bat of Koji Oshiro, and that stepped Ryoma Nishikawa, and he delivered a 2-run blast into the seats, and that made the scoreline 3-0, and that is exactly where the final has ended. The win tonight, well, that goes to I believe it's going to go to the starter, which would be Satani. He gets the win. Andreas Munoz gets the save. And the loss tonight goes to Haru Matsumoto, who drops to 8-3 on the season. Taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard before we wrap this one up for you. There is a couple other games that are going on, and one that is just about to get underway here shortly. Other games were in the Central. It's 2-2 with the Giants and the Carp. That's in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dragons have a 3-2 lead over the Swallows. That's in the top of the 7th. Game that is just about to kick off here any moment is between the Lions and the Eagles, 0-0 at Rakuten Mobile. Final attendance tonight, 39,894. Enjoyed this game in 2 hours and 57 minutes. We appreciate everybody that has come in to listen over the last little bit. Remember, it is about to go dark on our channel for a couple of weeks as we're going to be in Asia, taking in the sights, the sounds, the food, as we're going to catch some ball games in Taiwan if we can get through this rain. All right, everybody, you guys have a great night. We thank you again for listening in to another Last Raps Baseball video production. Have a great night, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks' time.